welcome back. These are the top 15 best of 2025 mobile games you can't miss. No filler, just the most fun, most polished games you can play on your phone right now. Fast action, deep RPGs, cozy adventures, and a few surprises, all in one list. Let's jump in. Blade and Soul Heroes drops you into a fast, flashy mobile action RPG where every fight is about timing. Tap to chain combos, dodge at the last second, and watch the screen explode with clean, martial arts style skills. What makes it addictive on phone is the hero roster. You're constantly swapping in new fighters, building a team that actually changes how battles flow, not just your damage numbers. Boss encounters hit like mini raid moments, patterns to learn, short bursts of chaos, then that satisfying clean finish when your ult lands perfectly. Between runs, you're upgrading gear, tweaking builds, and pushing deeper without needing hours at a time. It's the kind of game you can grind in quick sessions, then come back later and feel stronger immediately. Pure, one more run energy, built for mobile. Cat Quest 3 is pure feel-good adventure. But on mobile, it's the kind you can actually pick up, finish a quest, and put down without losing the vibe. You're a swashbuckling cat, sailing across bright seas, hopping between islands, chasing bounties, and stumbling into jokes that land way harder than they should. Combat stays snappy, quick slashes, simple dodges, and magic that turns messy fights into clean wins, especially when you're surrounded. The best part is how rewarding exploration feels. Every cave, every tiny beach, every suspicious little ruin usually hides a new weapon, a spell, or a silly side story. And because the game's pace is bite-sized, it fits perfectly into phone sessions. One island, one dungeon, one upgrade, and suddenly you're hooked again. Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light feels like the perfect mobile-friendly action adventure. Fast, focused, and always moving. Instead of long cutscenes, you get puzzle rooms and combat arenas that hit in quick bursts, so it's easy to clear one more section on a phone. The isometric view makes everything readable, and the gameplay is all about momentum. Rolling through traps, grabbing ledges, lining up shots, and using gadgets to turn deadly rooms into your playground. What really sells it is the tomb vibe. Spikes, collapsing floors, timed switches. The classic don't mess up tension, but in compact levels that never overstay their welcome. You're constantly collecting gems, unlocking upgrades, and getting cleaner with each run, so the game rewards both skill and quick sessions. Planet of Lana plays like a quiet, cinematic journey you can carry in your pocket. The kind that makes you lower your volume just to hear the world breathe. On mobile, the magic is how smoothly it flows. Simple touch controls, gentle platforming, and puzzles that feel clever without turning into homework. You're not alone either. Mui, your tiny companion, becomes the heart of the game, helping you distract enemies, trigger switches, and survive tense stealth moments where one wrong move can change everything. The art is gorgeous and calm on the surface, then suddenly you're running through fields while machines hunt in the distance. It's emotional, it's paced beautifully for short sessions, and every chapter ends with that, okay, I need to see what happens next, pull. Once Human on Mobile feels like stepping into a weird, polluted apocalypse where nothing looks normal. Buildings rot, creatures mutate, and the world itself feels infected. The loop hooks fast. Land in a new zone, loot what you can, craft better gear, then push into danger for rarer materials and crazier weapons. Gunfights aren't just point and shoot either. You're constantly moving, swapping tools, and reacting to enemies that don't behave like basic zombies. The real satisfaction comes from building a safe spot that's actually yours. Setting up storage, upgrading workbenches, and turning scraps into power. It's perfect for mobile sessions. One resource run, one base upgrade, one boss attempt, and suddenly you've played way longer than you planned. Game of Thrones, KingsRoad pulls you straight into Westeros with that heavy gritty anything can happen mood, and it actually works in mobile-sized sessions. You're traveling between dangerous roads and familiar locations, picking up quests that feel like they belong in the world. Rough politics, desperate fights, and choices that carry tension even when the objective is simple. Combat leans into timing and positioning. You're dodging, striking, and using skills at the right moment instead of mindlessly tapping. What makes it stick is progression. upgrading your gear, shaping your build, and slowly turning your character from survive the road to own the road. It's the kind of game you boot up for one mission, then end up chasing just one more reward. Legend of YMIR 2 hits like a pocket-sized Norse saga. Ragnarok vibes, giant landscapes, and that Unreal Engine 5 whoa factor, even on a phone screen. Combat leans into weight and timing. Your weaving skills, dodging telegraphed hits, and watching your class identity shine. Berserker brute force, archer precision, vulva magic, scald support tricks, warlord frontline control. The grind isn't just numbers either. Gear upgrades and build choices actually change how fast you clear mobs and survive bosses. I also love the MMO flow on mobile. Jump in for a quick quest loop, knock out a dungeon run, then log off with real progress. It's flashy, competitive, and made for short sessions without feeling small. Persona 5, the Phantom X brings that stylish Phantom Thieves energy to mobile. Sharp UI, slick music, and fights that feel like you're directing a heist. The best part is the rhythm of it. You live a normal day, build relationships, level up your skills, then dive into palaces where turn-based battles explode with flashy Persona attacks. On a phone, it's perfect because everything is chunked into clean sessions. One hangout, one mission, one dungeon push. And the game always gives you something meaningful to do. Collecting personas, fusing them, shaping your team, it's that satisfying planning phase before the action. And when an all-out attack hits, it still feels like a mic drop moment, even on a small screen. Warframe on mobile is basically speed and style in your pocket, sliding, bullet jumping, and cutting through missions like a futuristic ninja that never stops moving. The movement is the real star. You're not just running down corridors, you're chaining dashes, wall hops, and mid-air shots until it feels like a flow state. Missions are perfect for phone sessions too. Jump in, clear an objective, grab loot, bounce out. And the depth is insane. Different Warframes completely change how you play. From stealthy control to full-screen chaos, plus weapons that can be modded into totally different builds. Even when you're just farming materials, it doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like practice for becoming faster, cleaner, and deadlier every run. Delta Force on mobile is the kind of shooter that feels serious the moment you drop in. Tight gunplay, clean sound, and that one wrong peek and it's over tension. Matches aren't just run and gun. You're scanning angles, using cover properly, and coordinating abilities that actually matter in a fight. The maps push you to play smart. Flank routes, open sight lines, choke points where a good grenade changes everything. What makes it click on a phone is the pacing. You can load in, play a few intense rounds, and leave feeling like you accomplished something. Unlocks and loadouts give you a reason to keep improving, but the real hook is those clutch moments. Low ammo, last teammate alive, and you still pull it off with one clean burst. Dragon Ball GEKISHIN SQUADRA feels like Dragon Ball turned into a fast, chaotic mobile team brawler. Short matches, big moment, jump back in energy. Instead of slow grinding, instead of slow picking your squad, learning your role, and syncing attacks at the perfect time. You'll have seconds where you're baiting a dodge, then instantly flipping the fight with a skill chain that looks straight out of the anime. What makes it satisfying on mobile is how readable the action stays. Quick controls, clear hit confirms, and those dramatic bursts when a Sukanex and the whole screen screams, "That was clean." Every match becomes a highlight clip. Clutch saves, last-second finishes, and that rivalry feeling that keeps you queuing again. Destiny Rising brings that Destiny flavor to mobile. Clean sci-fi atmosphere, satisfying weapons, and fights that feel like a mix of precision and power. The shooting is the hook. Crisp headshots, chunky abilities, and enemies that push you to move instead of standing still. It's built for quick phone sessions too. Drop into a mission, clear a wave, grab loot, upgrade, and you're already stronger for the next run. What I love is the build fantasy even on mobile. Swapping gear, tuning perks, and pairing your gunplay with abilities that change the tempo of a fight. Burst damage, crowd control, survival tools. When a big ability lands in the middle of a hectic firefight, it hits that classic Destiny feeling, just scaled perfectly for your pocket. Where Winds Meet feels like carrying a full wuxia movie in your pocket. graceful swordplay, misty mountains, and that wandering martial artist freedom. On mobile, the world is the star. You're riding into towns, drifting through bamboo forests, and stumbling into quests that feel more like stories than checklists. Combat is all about flow. Quick strikes, parries, skill chains, and movement that makes fights look choreographed when you nail the timing. What keeps it addictive is how many ways you can approach problems. Sneak, talk, fight, explore, or just get lost chasing something interesting on the horizon. It's the kind of game where a 5-minute session turns into 30 because you keep saying, okay, I'll just see what's over there. Red Dead Redemption on mobile is that rare port that still feels huge, a full Wild West world in your hands, with John Marston's story pulling you forward mission by mission. One minute you're riding across open plains at sunset, the next you're in a tense duel where a single flick of aim decides everything. The pacing fits phone play surprisingly well. Clear a bounty, hunt for pelts, play a quick poker hand in a saloon, then hop back out. Touch controls get the job done, and a controller turns it into a proper handheld console vibe. Plus, Undead Nightmare is there when you want the same world, but completely hinged. It's cinematic, gritty, and dangerously easy to lose hours to, even in just one-mission sessions. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown feels made for mobile when you want something sharp, fast, and skill-based, not just a time killer. You're dashing through traps, wall jumping with perfect timing, and slicing enemies in fights that reward real reactions. The world is packed like a true Metroidvania. Locked doors, hidden routes, upgrades that suddenly make old areas feel brand new. What really sticks is the flow. You're not wandering aimlessly. You're constantly learning the map, mastering movement, and pulling off clean combos that feel almost athletic. And because progress comes in satisfying chunks, it's perfect for phone sessions. Beat a mini-boss, unlock a new ability, find a secret path, then you look up and realize you're fully locked in.